We are going to learn more about taxonomies, custom taxonomies, and custom fields. And for those of you that haven't found the videos of that haven't got the chance to see the videos of previous sessions, we have uploaded it to our YouTube channel. So you can search for mobile web dev and you can find a playlist which has all the content, updated content according to that. So what we are going to actually learn in today's course is actually what are WordPress taxonomies, what these taxonomies and different terms do, how you can create your own taxonomies, or you can do it with both in plugin way and in code way, and then finally what is custom fields. All of these things are very important if you are trying to build your own backend with WordPress and you want some advanced functionalities inside your WordPress backend. So this is going to help you in longer run. So basically, WordPress taxonomy is the way by which you categorize your post content, any kind of information that you have uploaded inside WordPress. The way you categorize it actually defines is defined by its taxonomies. So, for example, if you are using Netflix or you are listening to music, in the case of music, then the genre of music will actually be the categorization and the way we differentiate different kind of music. So in a similar fashion, when you are developing a website or your own blog or you are developing your own backend, it's very important for you to actually differentiate data into different formats so that it's easy for the user to navigate through different parts of your website. So by default, WordPress offers two kind of taxonomies. One is categories and one is tags. So categories, as its name suggests, it's a categorical format of storing content, and it can be suggested by like something like whenever you go to Netflix, if you want to watch an action movie or you want to watch a comedy movie, so those are the categories of movies. So you can apply a post or a page with this category. Sorry, pages don't have taxonomies, but you can add them using custom taxonomies using again CPT that we yesterday learned about. And then the other form of taxonomy is tags. So you know already tags. Tags is actually much more beneficial for search purposes and for users to find your information based on the keywords that you have used inside your information. So by default, these are the only two taxonomies that WordPress offers, but you can create your own new taxonomy. For example, if you want to have something like types, you are hosting different types of taxonomy content, then you want to categorize each content on the base of those taxonomies. So you can use WordPress taxonomies to do that. So basically, category as a taxonomy has a parent-child kind of relation in which you can create a parent taxonomy and then you can create multiple child under that taxonomy. And the taxonomy term, the slug that we call it, is used to differentiate different posts. A post can have more than one taxonomy, and category can have obviously more than one post. Then with using these taxonomies pages, you can create their own archive pages, which can help you display information in a collective manner. That is what we call is a archive page. So taxonomy not only helps in categorizing the data, but also to display collective posts on a single information manner using the archive system. So for that, you would need a slug identifier for the post, and that is what we actually see in our WordPress tutorial. So let me quickly jump into WordPress and let's see how does that looks like. So I'll go to my usual WordPress setup that I have hosted online. So when you go inside post, you will be able to see categories and tags. So these are the by default taxonomies. Now, when I go inside the categories section, I'll be prompted to add new categories to my information and also what are the existing categories. So if I visit this category called as digital transformation, I would be able to see all the post that is lying under this content, and in the taxonomy itself I have added some advanced post. Now what it does is that if I visit my website, and by the way, every taxonomy has its own independent view. So if I go to its view, I'll be able to see the archive page, and it forms a permalink something like this: your website URL slash category slash name of that category. So in this case, I have designed the category page something like this, and information is getting layout like presented in this form. At the same time, if I visit a different taxonomy, such a different category, such as this future of banking, I'll be able to see a different page. And you can all do this with your archive.php page. Sid will tell you more about how you can design this. But at the same time, if I visit a tag, and if I want to view the tag, it will have a different layout. That's what the main speciality of using taxonomies is. You can have categories in a different format, and you can have tags in a different format. And then if you want to display different information, you can do that. So if you want, if you're interested how this will be actually useful for you, so you can take the example of Instagram. If you want to create a duplicate of Instagram using WordPress, you can do that. Because the channels or the authors can be the built-in authors, and channels can be the categories, and the tags can be obviously the tags, and then you can design the whole process like that. So it's very easy to create your own custom taxonomy. Again, we can use CPT UI plugin to do that, and otherwise you can obviously go to the code way. Let me quickly jump into and let's see if we have CPT UI plugin inside our this installation. Okay, we don't have. Yeah. So instead of having it inside the left banner, we have modified this installation to have it over here. So here I'm going to add a new taxonomy. Let's say this taxonomy can be categorized as something like rating. So rated content. This is how we are going to rate our different content based on the stars. So if you want, you can have a hierarchy, which means that you can have parent-child relationship. But in case of rating, I don't think it matters to have a parent-child relationship. So then we can choose what kind of pages we want to apply, or what kind of post types we want to apply this taxonomy to. By default, you know that pages don't have a taxonomy, but with this method you can have add taxonomies to the page also. Then there are some other couple of things. If you want to, if you're working on headless CMS, you can choose them, and then we'll hit the publish button. Now, if you go to post, you will be able to see there is a new taxonomy over here, which is called as rating. So let's go ahead and create a new taxonomy, new term in this taxonomy. Let's call it 5 stars. So you see, then let's see, also add 4 stars. Okay, let's also add a like. Cool. So what we'll do now, we'll visit to any of our posts, for example this, and we'll quickly add a rating to this post. So you see now we have additional field rather than categories and tags, which is called as rating. So let's go ahead and give it a 5-star rating. So if I reload the page, I haven't reloaded the page yet, I'll be able to see the suggestions for that particular keyword. So you don't need to worry about remembering all of them. So as soon as I type, I'll be able to see all the rating which are related to that. So in this current taxonomy selection, I chose to have multiple terms, but you can restrict it to have single term also. So now I'll update it, and now you can see this has a taxonomy named as 5-star. So how it is useful that if you want your user to see all the 5-star rated content, then you can visit over there. And let's see if WordPress by default create this a page for this 5-star. It doesn't, because we in our theme we haven't defined any custom archive page for the taxonomy named rating, but we have done that for categories and tags. Siddhant can also tell you more about how you can create your own custom taxonomies using coding, and also how you can have your custom archive page. Then you can also see how you can query these taxonomy, and then we'll talk about custom fields. So Siddhant, would you like to talk about the coding method of taxonomies first, and then I'll talk about custom fields?
Yeah, sure. So let's share my screen first so that you can see. So it is the last work we have done. We've created a custom post type video. So it is showing in front end like this. Admin dashboard, and here we have created a custom post type like this. So created some post in here. Let's trash them first. And now let's create a custom taxonomy. For that, we need to add a hook using add action. It's init, and you know all know what is init. Callback function for that, say custom. Okay, and like defining a function like this function, and function name, which is custom taxonomy. It should be same which you are defining here, because it will get executed with this init. And after that, you need an array of arguments. Variable or array. Define array for custom taxonomies, and give it a label. So it will be a name when you see your custom taxonomy in admin panel here, like categories is showing. So it's a label, and give it a key value. Here, give it a name like prof. Okay. And we would like to make it public so every user can see it. We also would like to give it a hierarchical structure, which is set feature true. And after that, we also would like to let's register it and see what will happen. Give it a slug. Right. Okay, spelling is right. Create an array. Inside it, give a key slug and its value your slug. And let's see will it get registered or not. So it will not, because we haven't used the method for registering a custom taxonomy, which is register underscore taxonomy, like this. It's predicting here. So it requires 3 arguments. First is your custom taxonomy name, like this array, in which you will type your post types, custom post types, where you want to show your custom taxonomy. Right here, post custom taxonomy video. We would also like to categorize it with this taxonomy. So here is a video. And last argument is an ARG, which we have defined here, like this. So give it an ARG argument, $ARGs, like that, and it will get the job done. So you can see a car is here, which is a custom taxonomy, and for videos it's also cars here. And when I click over it, it will open a new taxonomies. I've already created a BMW inside it. Delete it. So it's empty now. And let's create a post inside video. Give it a name like anything you want. Custom post. In publish it. And when we see your post, we can only see here categories and nothing else. So we want to list here our custom taxonomy. So how we will do that? We need to add another argument here. Show admin so here, so cars coming up here like that. And when we quick edit it, we can see here car categories is here with the categories. So we have right now, registered our custom taxonomy. This is our custom tax. Now, how can we register it? This is how. So let's register another tags. Tags are different thing. Tags don't follow the hierarchical structure as categories do. And inside tags, you cannot establish a relationship like parent and children, but categories do have. Let me show you an example. When you go to the tag section, when you try to add a tag, say tag 1, you don't see anything here like parent. You just add it. Another tag 2, and add it. You see only single level, no parent and children relationship is here. And while going in categories, when you edit it, add a new category. So, and you see here a parent category. So you can give this category any parent. Like I want to give this sub new one and add category. So this category comes here. So it is the children of this category, and this is the children of this, and this is the children of this. So this is how we, creating a parent and children structure in categories. But this thing you cannot do in tags. Inside tag, this is a single level structure. So let's create another tag. So let's make this category we have created here, cars, a tag. And doing that, you just need to remove this thing or make it a false. Hierarchical structure, make it a false. Set its value false, and it will behave like as a tags. Go inside the cars, and you don't see here parent, which was earlier here. So let's make it true. Okay. You can see here parent, so it's following like it. So this is the difference between categories and tags, main difference you can say. So this is how you can register your custom taxonomies, and in custom taxonomies, categories and tags, and categories and tags are by default provides. So right now this is it for the custom taxonomies. And what you would like to say about custom fields?
Can you also show how you can query custom taxonomy?
Yes. Custom taxonomies.
Yes.
Yeah,
because,
I already showed it, custom taxonomies.
Yeah, I'm saying how you can query it. The archive page.
Your voice, it's a query. Okay. So, your voice is going. So this is over here. You can see we were querying earlier our custom post like this, giving it a post type with a slug of video, which we have created here. This custom post type like that, giving it a slug of video. So see what is happening on index page. You can see a custom post in video. because we were querying video section here and index page. We were having our array post type as video. So now if I would like to query by custom taxonomies, and how will I do that? Let's go to our video section here and give it a taxonomy cars. And we haven't created any taxonomy, so let's create one. BMW created another, which one, say I20. So these are cars which I have created in custom taxonomies, and let's query them. But first, assign them to a post. Add them to post. Say BMW, so we will know which is which. Publish this. Create another post with the name of the car name I created just. So it will give you an idea how you can query your post using custom taxonomies while creating your theme. So we'll be doing a lot of these things in our theme. So here, and first let me query this video section with the inbuilt categories, and we'll see the difference between custom category and the categories which WordPress provides. Assign it new. Create it. And this is a slug, having a slug of new. Going over here and type another argument, which is inbuilt argument. You need to write as it is. Category name and type instead new. It is new was the slug of that category. Here it is. So you need to use as it is because it saves in database, and this thing goes in MySQL, the SQL queries like this, where this category name like new, and it searches in the database. That's why you need to put here new as it is. So, which I've given it I20 new. So with this category I can query, but for custom taxonomies, querying them here, there is no argument like custom taxonomies like that. So we need to use here another thing which is called tax query. Array, and inside this array you need to create another array. And which taxonomy you want to query? Give it to taxonomy and its value. You would like to query for cars. Which field you want to query for? Field. You want to query from using slug of a taxonomy. And another thing you have to pass here is terms. Which terms you want to query? We have a term called which term? There are a lot of terms here. Cars. So these are the terms BMW and I20. Their slug is BMW and I20. Let's query for BMW. Like that. And it will query for BMW because it's a custom taxonomy. So this is the way how you can query for custom taxonomies. And let's see if it comes up anything, because right now I haven't given any to BMW, cars. So it will show empty. It's empty. So let's give a custom taxonomy cars BMW to post BMW and update it. See BMW. Let's see if the BMW comes up here or not. So the BMW is getting queried. So it's working fine. Let's there's another thing you can also do here. You can also create relations. So this array is a single custom taxonomy. Let's create a relation. And you can say here, let's say or it's an and or relation. Two types of relation you can give here. And query another taxonomy. So you need to write another array here for that. And for that, let's query for category in taxonomy. So BMW, and let's see, it has a new category. Type in new. What we will see here is a OR operation between these two categories. So we're going to see I-20 and BMW because it's an OR operation. So I-20 and BMW. Let's create an AND operation. Let's see what we are going to see here. Nothing, because there is no operation going to work because it's a intersection, so nothing is matching. Let's give it a name, BMW. And you will see here I-20 because both the conditions are working. It has a new and it has a BMW, and we have a relation and. So this is how you query your custom taxonomies. And also, if you would like to query for tags, you can also do that just by giving here. Let's let me create a tag. Let me use the inbuilt tag. So inbuilt tag has a name called post underscore tag. So this is the name by query or inbuilt tags. You need to use this. And for single thing, you don't need a relation, single taxonomy. So slug BMW, see the tags. So I have a tag called one tag and assign this tag to a post inside video. Let's take this one, and it is doesn't have a tag section here because I haven't given it a functions.php here. It's in quick edit here. Yes. So let's say it's show. Show in quick edit. So that was the section, show in quick edit, and it's so not behave like a car. Okay, let's create this taxonomy. Let's say I have BMW. So I've created my category as a tag here, updated, and inside here cars. So I have BMW, and to a post I've assigned a tag called this one. Okay. I'll give it a car. Okay. So taxonomy given here from car taxonomy field we're using slug and terms BMW, and inside videos everything is fine here. Okay, and here we're using cars and falls and array slugs taxonomy quick edit, everything is fine here too. It should come up. Update section here. Okay, something is going wrong right now. Let's see what is wrong here, what we are doing wrong. Okay, inside post video we are querying post type videos. Okay, and using a tax query with taxonomy car, which is our car taxonomy here, like that. And we have a term here BMW, which we have assigned here terms in BMW, and using a slug. Okay, everything is fine here. And functions, we have assigned this post and video and args using here like that. Slug equals to course. Okay, so it looks right to me. Okay, inside videos, I've assigned it PW. Something must be going wrong. Let's do with the post tag and see what will happen. For inbuilt post slug, and let's query it for in post tags. We're having a tag. Let's say tag.
I think Siddhant, because you were using the wrong taxonomy word. It is cars, not car.
Okay, let's change it. Oh, sorry about that. Spelling mistakes. Don't do that. We have here everything because we have assigned everything BMW inside the videos. BMW. That's why we're having here 3 BMWs. So this is how you query your custom taxonomies using your categories or tags. So in create your tags like setting hierarchical value true or false. True for hierarchical, which is category, and false for tags. Single level categorization of your content. So this is it. So, you would like to say about custom fields? There are also
Yeah.
coding section for that.
Yeah. So before that, there was a question in the chat about what is a slug. So imagine slug is the
Okay.
primary key which is used to query any kind of term. So this is a thing which is working hiddenly, which is not visible to the person. So for example, if you create a page name named as my profile, if you have a space between this my profile, but for the user ID to work, it should be inside a particular case so that it can be queried. So slugs cannot be duplicate. They serve as a primary key to search and go for queries. So as you can see, when Siddhant was showing the demo, everything he was querying through is actually a slug. So you need to remember a lot about slug. So slug is a backend thing which you need during the development. Okay, so last thing that we have is custom fields. And custom fields is nothing but adding new fields into your existing post types. So you remember that we actually introduced the concept of custom posts, but custom posts are not useful until unless you have your own different fields and functionalities. So in the previous example, we saw how you can add your own custom taxonomy in order to categorize the content. But this time we'll see how you can add your custom information inside a post. So there are again two ways of doing it. One is by using the plugin and one is by using the code. So I'll show you how you can do it by plugin and Siddhant can show you by how you can do that by code. So for that, you need a plugin called as custom fields. Advanced custom fields is the plugin name, and you need to just go to your plugin section and add a new plugin named as ACF. So let's search for ACF. And this is the extended version. We just need the actual one, that is this advanced custom fields. And this has a lot of downloads and it's a very trusted plugin in the community. And you can then go to the fields. And here I don't have any kind of fields right now. So firstly, what you need to do is you have to create a field group. So what we'll do, we'll add some more fields inside our movie. So what we'll do, we'll name the field group as movie because that is how we'll recognize it. And then we start adding our own fields. So in a movie, we obviously need the MP4 video. So let's name the field name as video. And the slug that you were asking about is actually the field slug, which has to be unique. This field label can be duplicate, but the field name has to be unique. So then it's also ACF also gives us the option that what kind of field is this. There are different formats by which you can add the information, from the basic ones such as just a text character, URL, these kind of things. And then you have content. So content is the place where you host your own content inside WordPress. For this choice, we'll obviously go with the content one. And what we need to do is that we need to upload a video, that is a file, and we can also add a instruction that upload mp4, let's say. And we can choose if this is a required field. What this button does, it doesn't allows the person to publish the post until this field has been marked. For our movie, we obviously need mp4, so we'll mark this as yes. Then you can give different permissions to different people depending upon their role who can access this field. For us, we'll only give the access to administrator and editor. And then you can also choose what kind of uploader do you want. It can be a media one in which you have a drag and drop functionality, or a basic one. And this is the return type value. This is much more useful when you are doing a front end job. And for our platform, because this is a mp4 video, we'll actually need the file URL in the return post type. So here it also gives us an option that if we want to limit this to library choice, for this we want all media to be fetched over here. And then you can also choose for the size. Let's give a maximum restriction of 100 MB. And also you can restrict the types of file, and this can only be done if you have chosen file type as file over here. And then you can mark the extension. So you just need to have mp4, so you will just enter mp4 over here. If you want to add some kind of logic, that if it only appears if this kind of information is there, you can use the logics also. Then we'll choose what post we want this information to display under. So we'll say we want post type is equal to movie, then only show this field. And then you can see and added other basic stuff if you want to add that. We are enough with this thing, and let's publish it out. Okay, so we are using GraphQL plugin also. We'll tell about this plugin later. And this is a mandatory field for this thing. So let's call this field as movie URL. And it's a slug, so we need to be sure with the case. Okay, so now we'll go inside the movies, add a new movie, and you will see that there is a new field called as video with our instruction that to upload to mp4 file. When we click on add file, it pops us the media extension. Now you can see all these other files are grayed out and we cannot select them because it needs to be only of mp4 type. But we can select this mp4 video, and let's go for it. Select, and let's publish it. Okay, if we haven't given any name, but it chooses the name on its own. So let's go ahead and see if there is a content on this permalink. So we cannot see any content because we haven't made any viewing for this particular file. So for that, we again need to cover our basics of theme development, which we'll be teaching you tomorrow, of how you can show this file on the front end part. So this is how you can add your own custom fields. On the basics, this is everything that you need to know, and then you can add more fields as you want. You can add conditional logic, all these things. If you want some additional things, this ACF plugin comes for free, but if you want some more extended capabilities, then you can obviously try the ACF Pro plugin. So next, Siddhant will tell you how you can do that in CodeWare.
Yeah, sure. So for querying custom fields, you need to see fields that are attached to your post. So by default, the ACF plugin, which is Aman told about you, is gave you this methods get custom fields. So you can get the fields attached to a post ID of a post, and it will give you all the fields of a post. But if you want a single field, there are a lot of APIs you can see here for this plugins to work. You can go to the documentation section of this. You can see anything you want here. Every API is here for your need. This thing get field here. I'll show you what is get field is. So what it do is you need a selector called say a field name. So you need a field name here. Put here field name and a post ID, and format is by default true. So don't worry about the format. This thing, then you will get your custom field. Let's do this. And before doing that, let me show you something. Inside your post, when you add a new post, there's an option. This field wasn't here. Let me just go to my options, and here you see a custom field. So I haven't installed any plugin right now. Let me disable it. So there is no custom field right now. So WordPress also provides by default adding a custom fields in your post by selecting yes and making it sure that it enables. So now you have a custom field here section. This section is, and WordPress saves this custom field in post meta. Let me show you where does it. So going like localhost database section where you see your database. So mobile web. Inside this table WP post meta, here it saves all the custom fields. And if you do that 100 500 queries, so here are every custom fields you can see here. Right now I haven't any, so it's not showing. It's showing some WordPress work which WordPress already has done here. And ACF, I think ACF saves in WP options. That plugin, which is this, it saves in the WP options, everything in WP options. And for terms, it saves in terms metadata here in this. So that's why data अलग अलग जगह पे रहता है. Let's see. And going here, inside it, create a custom field, add another custom field. Okay, enter new and give it a name or custom one, like that, and a value. And this name is a key by which you query this custom field. And let's say 60. I'm giving it a value of 60. And title is must because it requires for slug, permalink to create by WordPress creates permalink by this using titles. Publish. And I see here ID. Post ID is 98. So I'm going to use this ID. And inside our index page, let's remove this PHP for loop from here. And we're not going to use it. And let's move this thing. And how can I get that? So I want to get that by get post underscore meta. So in this there are 3 arguments, as you can see it's predicting. Post ID, key string, key is your which I have just entered key, and boolean value false, and it's a different thing. Let's say post ID, the post ID I have is 98. It's already saying me key was this. This is key, custom one. Copy from it. Value, so we have to pass in the string. That not for printing this thing, you need to use the WordPress print underscore r. It's not WordPress PHP function. So print r print underscore r. Also used another method called var dump. Let first print all. Let's print what is going to print here. So it's an array called, it's saying that it has a 0 at 0th index, it has value 60, which you have entered here. Here 60. And if you want to say the whole object, what's going inside the whole object, let's remove this thing from here. Custom post for our post, what values are attached to a post in the post meta. And doing that, now you can see this object is attached to that post. So this is the value which we have attached, custom post. And if you want to update this value here right now, so we need to use here update post meta. Simple. Post meta, post ID, and key. You need to provide a key which is custom one, and a value. Which value you want to update here? Say 80. What I have here 60. When I run this code, so you see this one. This is telling me that the code, the value has been updated. And now when I come over here and refresh it, now I have 80 here. The value is updated in this field. And if I update it again, let's see what will happen. So nothing's happen. It turned nothing like that. Now how can I add a new value? Very simple. Add. I think I already told you about add. Let's delete it. Delete post meta. Simple. Delete post meta. You need a post ID for that and a value to which you want to delete. It's a key value. It's one. Refresh it, and it is giving one, which means the value has been deleted. So now the custom field which was here, now it's not because it's been deleted. So let's see the ACF. How does it work? So I don't have an ACF. Let's install it first. Add new. Say ACF. And the plugin is this one. The author. Install now. It's taking time because I'm working on my local machine. So saying that the failed URL, a valid URL not provided, it's an internet issue. Don't worry. Don't know, the internet is the issue. First time nothing works. So the plugin is here, and now I'm going to add value field because any field URL. Okay, and here URL, and I would like to see this custom field inside my post because I'm using here post type. I can use here post type template, status, format, post taxonomies. I'm using post type. So inside post type, I would like to see this custom field in my post, and like that. And I need to add here fields. So let's give it a name, URL, and this URL should be unique. And another thing, say you can add here a lot of fields you want. You can create tab, you can create groups. There's also if you go for pro, you will have your repeater, and repeater is a very good thing to do UI work. You don't need to create by code. You can just create by UI using drag and drop. But WordPress is not drag and drop like that. Okay, so I'm going to use a URL field. So it's done. I think everything is in place. Publish. It has a name URL. Let's go post and edit it. 98. Now you see here we value custom field URL. Update this with the required URL because if you enter some URL like that, don't think you're gonna update it. It's updated. Don't worry. Let me type here some. Oh, okay. So this is the URL I've entered here, and try to get this URL from code. Updated here, and post ID is 98. You need to use post ID, and inside here you need to use a method given by us, this get field. This method. Inside field, you need to add selector. Selector is the value, key value for that thing which I have told you that should be unique. I'll show you this value name should be unique. This value, this is we are going to use the selector. So copy from here and comma and IT, which is 98. Shows 98. Let's see if it gets printed or not. So you're getting nothing because it has nothing. See why it's not worked. Full name URL, so okay, fine. We're using it, and we also updated the value. I think I'm doing some spelling mistakes, I guess. Get field, select the URL, and return. It's not a post ID. Comes inside the post. Right. So inside the post, you see URL and the URL which we have just pasted and updated it. So here it is inside the post or post, and that field will get attached to every post you have in your WordPress, every post, and it will be unique by post ID, post to post. That field will be unique because you're attached to a post. So this is here, and let's see, edit the post, and inside post we have added paste this URL here, which is gets printed here. What we queried this. Let's see in the database where it goes. And there will be options. Okay, make it 500. Let's URL. It's nothing. So post meta. So the value is saved in the post meta. Here the URL thing is there. We have saved the URL for the post, and the ID is post ID. With this post ID, this URL is getting saved. Here it is. So whenever you don't know how to do things and all those, just go on Google and search over here. You will get everything on Google. Nobody knows everything. So this is how you query your custom fields, and you can do a lot of things with custom fields.
Okay, thanks, Siddharth. This was, I think, the longest session for today, but these are the basic concepts that you actually need before jumping into the actual development.